So, balikan natin yung mga research designs. Okay. So, the cohort design class is an example also of a descriptive design. Kasi, you describe things that you have observed, but in the manner of a cohort design. Hindi siya cross-sectional design. Okay? So, na-discuss ko ba ito last time with the COVID vaccine? Nasabi ko ba ito? So, let's just elaborate it. Okay, so let's elaborate more. For example, right now is our time. Here in our present time, we have pandemic, no? And then we are trying to look for or to create vaccine. So if a vaccine is to be tested, so we will choose either a population with the COVID infection or free of disease. So if you have chosen, for example, a population free of disease, across time, you will observe the effect of the vaccine. So the factor here is your vaccine. So yung healthy individual may receive. So factor present, those who receive vaccine. And then factor absent, those who will not receive vaccine. So as time goes by, and then there's exposure to the environment without any, or depende sa parameter or sa variable na gusto nyong i-input, sino sa population ngayon ang magde-develop ng disease? Will it be the population who receives the vaccine or the population who does not receive the vaccine? So it's a cohort design, descriptive manner. Okay, with regards naman to systematic review, this is one of the research design that can be done in our situation right now because it only it demands internet connection and it does not demand actual interaction with respondents. So, meaning to say, you will just gather previous related studies that are published in decent journals, so published online, in a well-cited journals. You will gather research articles that are qualified according to your criteria. So, ikaw ang magko-consolidate ng mga research articles published about that topic. So, itong as a systematic review, partner siya sa meta-analysis. So, meron kayong mga criteria na isi-set before you will gather data. So, hindi lang 5 or 10 literatures ang ida-download nyo yan. Hundreds of literatures. And those literatures will be processed kung sino doon ang may positive results, sino doon ang may neutral results, or may negative results. Okay? So, pwede siyang gawin in our setting right now. And that is the most reliable type of research design according to hierarchy. So, if you can see the pyramid here, our data sources, our raw data, are not much reliable because they have to be processed first. Case reports, medyo mataas siya kasi meron na siyang interpretation kung sino yung researcher, meron na siyang interpretation of if it has a good impact or bad impact. Cohort studies, it's very good because the observation is long and there's a very good grouping of different respondents or mga samples natin. The next cohort is our randomized controlled trials. So, for example, if you want to do experimental studies, you have to employ randomized control design. Dapat meron kayong randomization and proper control of your samples to make it reliable. And on top of that, the most filtered information and most reliable results we can get are using these two types of research design, the systematic review and meta-analysis. So class, we will have a separate session on how to do your systematic review and meta-analysis, because in our situation, this will be very useful. Aside from systematic review and meta-analysis, pwede pa rin tayong gumawa ng ating commonly used design, which is descriptive design. Yung ating mag-survey tayo or mag-i-interview tayo, but the type of research instrument and data gathering process will be limited to online interaction only. Or if you are employed in a hospital, this is an idea lang ha later on. If you are an employee of a hospital right now and you will be granted permission by medical directors or administrators, you can extract data from medical records and create a retrospective review on different topics. So for example, if you're in a hospital and you want to check utilization and about meropenem, everything about meropenem utilization in the past 6 months. So you will retrieve information from the medical records and review the charts of the patient, sino doon ang nakadevelop ng ADR, sino doon ang gumamit ng meropenem, which is unnecessary. So that's an example of drug-related problem. So that's another type of research design and data gathering you can do, aside from what I have mentioned, a systematic review and meta-analysis. Okay. Am I understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So hopefully you will have an idea on what you want to do, because you will have groupings as the end of the week. Before the end of the week, magpo-post na ako ng groupings natin. Okay, so your data collection, since it depends with your design, so kung quantitative data ang inyong i-collect, so therefore, it should be using questionnaires with closed-ended questions. Okay? So this one, quantitative method is much cheaper. Why? Because it does not need an actual interaction where you travel to, it's not time consuming. And it's also a very good way to process data kasi we have inferential statistics to process it. Hindi masyadong, kumbaga, trabahoso pag-analyze ng data kasi naka-number siya, numerical siya. Whereas, kung qualitative naman yung ating research methods, therefore, ang ating makuha na data is qualitative din. So, for example, ano yung words na lumabas sa mouth ng ating respondents, sounds, feelings, emotions, colors, effect, or what is the impact ng qualitative research. Kasi, i-analyze ninyo yung facial expression, yung choice of words, things like that. So the data process which can generate qualitative type of data, ito siya, interview, a use of questionnaire with open-ended questions, pwede ding focus group discussion wherein you invite members of groups at tapos mag-brainstorming kayo. Pwede din, hindi ka na mag-interview pero i-observe mo yung person sa kanyang day-to-day activity or game or role-playing or game or case studies. So, yan siya. Now, with regards to sampling designs, so ito yung na-post ko pala na tawag ito, na activity doon sa ating Google Classroom. So sampling design is very helpful in our research because it's not necessary that all of us, all of the members of the population will be tested or will be included in the research to make it viable or to make it valid. It has to have or it has to follow sampling designs because if you will include everyone, it is very expensive and tedious. So we need to get representative portion of the population. So that makes us save time, money, and effort. So what are the types of sampling designs? It can be divided into two, probability sample or probability sampling and non-probability sampling. So si probability sampling, meron siyang pina-follow na tawag ito, na parang criteria. So when you say stratified, so for example, i-group natin siya female and male. Yan. Systematic, meron kang set na criteria for that also. Meron ding clustering and we have simple randomization just like yung ating pwede kang magbunot-bunot, jolats, pwedeng ganon. Pag non-probability, convenience sampling, pipiliin mo, researchers, sino yung gusto mo. Itong snowball, this is applicable for qualitative data gathering, especially for sensitive cases. So for example, your respondent ay yung mga patient with HIV or mga sex workers. So hindi ka wala kang masyadong, hindi yan sila nagde-declare, di ba? Nagde-disclose ng information. So kung may kakilala kang isa, that is good enough. And then that one respondent will refer you to another probable respondent where just like a snowball, the more you roll, the more it makes bigger. So, rarami yung ating sample or ating respondents. So, meron siyang naka-indicate ay mga naka-enumerate dyan. So, that is for your activity na naka-post dun sa Google Classroom natin. I will show you a simple picture of a convenient sampling. Yan, ito. Ikaw mamimili kung sinong kasali. Si purposive or probability sampling, meron kang criteria na sabi ko nga kanina. So, ito yung snowball. And voluntary response sampling. So, ito din, pwede you can assign numbers. In probability sampling, you can assign numbers sa 1 to 100, tapos ang kukunin mong respondent ay even numbers, ending with even numbers. Pwede din ending with odd numbers. Or pwede kang mag-draw lots, tapos sino yung mapili mong number, siya lang yung kukunin mo sa iyong research.